Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the fifth video of 2025. The fifth radio show episode of 2025. And I currently have six videos. This will be video number seven. And then I will also have a gameplay video, which I have picked out of my archives. I'm going to go see if I have a. See, the good thing about having a gaming system is you can go into your old capture gallery and you can find all your content that you've already put up. That's a good thing because you can pick videos that you haven't done in a while and you can put them out on YouTube. It's great to have an archive / thing to go to because I saved this as a treasure trove of old recordings that I didn't give. So I'm going to. So I uploaded kind of a mishmash. The video is kind of a mishmash of tuning. Me tuning up for Ferrari. I think it's a Honda NSX and not an NSX, but a Nissan GTR from like 1931, from like the early 80s, like the early mid to late 80s. I think it was like 31 or something like that. So. I have a bunch of them that I haven't recorded. I think there's a Corvette in there somewhere. I think I have a couple of cars in there, F40 stuff like that. Don't worry, I'll still do the Porsche one and stuff like that. I've done some tuning. I've done some testing with top speed off screen and stuff like that. But I'll to get a feel for how the car is reacting with the new turbo engine and sort of like that. On other circuits and stuff like that, and I've tested it at Le Mans and stuff like that. So, and I've gotten quite a bit of speed out of it. I've done a lap around La Sarthe and stuff like that. I think I got 3-minute 54 out of it. So that's coming, and there's also this vlog. This is also the fifth vlog of the year. Don't worry, I didn't forget you guys. So I'm about to head to bed. This vlog's probably going to be about 15 minutes long. Hope you guys aren't too bent out of shape that the vlog's going to be about 15 minutes. But so yeah, I thought I'd come to you guys live again from my room here at the end of the day, the callings of the day. It was a pretty peaceful weekend. I got to relax, got to watch more Doctor Who. Also got to enjoy some of the cold weather. I got to watch a lot of YouTube videos, did some house chores. I actually cleaned one of my drawers downstairs because I have to my paperwork drawer that I have for work and bills and stuff like that. I have to refocus it and reorder it and do everything good. So did that today. Went to the bank. Went for a walk in this 20 minutes in this chilly weather, which was hilarious. It's like 24 degrees, it feels like 2 out there. Didn't go for 11 degrees in my new coat from Christmas, but yeah. But I didn't want to bore you guys with me talking about how unimpressively boring my weekend was. So I want to talk more car news, since that's what I'm going to be delivering from here on in. So I just wanted to tell you guys that I want to report on a couple more things that have been on my mind, car related. The one thing I want to talk about, and the one thing that has really been bothering me for a long time, you're going to hear me say that a lot. So, Detroit, the big three. What in the world was wrong with having four-door sedans? We have to go to the Japanese, the Koreans, and the Germans, and the British. Well, the British don't have many sedans anymore, but we have to go to other. Oh yeah, and the Germans like Volkswagen, Audi, BMW. I know everybody's going to sit there and go, "Oh, SUVs and crossovers are the way to go. They offer more capacity." Well, there's some of us out there that kind of want a small car, not a lot of horsepower, that can actually save us gas because we kind of need those. And everybody's just going to sit there like, oh, that's what the electric cars are for. No, some people want a gas car with 4 doors or 5 doors or a liftback or whatever that actually runs. Um, so I don't know what really happened or what drugs or what stupid pills Detroit took to say that, oh, maybe there's some people that will like crossovers because they offer more capacity. Yes, they do, but they cost more, and it's gone to the point in that such. Now, a lot of people are going to sit there and go, well, if you buy a Buick Encore, it's $18,000 to $20,000, and you can get a whatever for like $20,000, $30,000. That's and offers more room than a sedan. Well, not a lot of people want to pay 30 grand for a car, so. But you have the used market, of course, because that's obviously getting priced a little bit too high into the new car territory, of course, because of inflation. Thank you, Joe Biden, and every other Democrat, and also the Middle East, the Russians, every other moron who has an oil feed that's turning off the pumps, so we can't get gasoline cheap anymore. Thank you. And also COVID, and also a billion other things that I'm not going to mention. But hey, there's always more than one cause to a problem. So inflation so there was a bunch of things. So there's politics, governments that don't really like us. Not too many people do. So most of the people who have oil usually hate us. So that's Russia. So that's Russia, the Arabs. So the people who have oil are the Russians, the Venezuelans, the Arabs, and the Chinese. So I think Chinese also have oil somewhere as well. And I think they have oil in Azerbaijan and some other places, in Turkey, in the middle of nowhere, if everything is correct. But some people want a fuel-efficient four-door car that will get like 50 miles to the gallon, and we won't have to pay, because there's not a lot of us that have a garage and have access to a charging port and actually have something. Like, some people live out of apartments. I think that's one thing that a lot of the politicians / the electric car makers have forgotten, that some people don't have the budget. So it's called improvising and coming up with the plan to bring back the four-door sedan Detroit because I don't know. And you might want to, because Honda's starting to fall back because they're starting to rush and they're starting to have faults in the production. Toyotas are having the same problem. Hyundai, I think Audi's. I don't know about Audi and Volkswagen, the Germans, because last time I checked, they're not very reliable and their repair bills are big. So Detroit, bring back the four-door sedan. We would love to have cheap. We would have to have cheap, affordable transportation. I don't want to have to go to the Germans to pay $60,000, or if I want a sedan, I don't want to have to go to Cadillac. Well, the only GM car brand that has four-door sedans is Cadillac. General Motors, I don't want to pay $40,000-$50,000 for a sedan. Just what happened, America? What is wrong with having a four-door sedan or a liftback that actually works? For those of you who are saying, "Oh well, Dodge is coming up on one," well, what happens if the Dodge is between $40,000 and $50,000? It's a lot of money for a sedan that no one's going to buy because it's a Dodge. Hello, it's a Stellantis. Plus, it's owned by the Italians. The French, the bunch of Eastern European countries and conglomerates that we don't need. Who knows, right? Yeah, I wouldn't want to go with Dodge. So, with Dodge anytime soon, because I'll be finding it on the side of the road. And these electric chargers, I don't know either. No one's going to dive. No one's going to pay $60, $50 cajillion for an electric sedan, because there's one that already exists. It's called the Model 3, right? So, and a lot of people will die for those because it gets the incentive, yada, yada, yada. Plus, a lot of those are going on the second hand. They're a lot cheaper now, so Dodge, you're out of luck unless people want to pay the maintenance bill on those, which is probably going to be ridiculous. So even if you buy one used, you're still going to replace the battery, the transmission, the converters, the solar panels, the inverters, and all this other stuff that they throw in. I know I probably made a Star Wars reference in there somewhere, but yeah. And it has a bad motivator. I'm going. This one had a bad motivator, which is what Dodge is. They're not very good with motivators, so I'm expecting a lot of people to open up the hoods of their electric, chargers, and the little pin that R3 or RD has, or whatever that R2, R3, or R4, whatever that Astrodroid was, and the thing just pops out of there like, oh, had bad. I'm like, oh, Uncle Owen, this one has a bad motivator. I'm like, you gave us an effective product. Well, you knew that when you were getting it. Plus I think secretly, I think Stellantis and Dodge, Stellantis, whoever they want to call themselves, are a bunch of Jawas anyway, because they're a bunch of foreigners and they speak in a different language, you know. But Detroit, what happened? Detroit, what happened? Just tell me what happened. We want four-door sedans back. So Chevrolet, you definitely have platforms to do it. Ford, you definitely have platforms to do it. Chrysler, you definitely have it. If you have the Europeans on your side, I think you can do it. Because I don't want to go to the Germans. I don't want to go to the Italians. I don't want to go to the Koreans. I don't want to go to the Japanese. And I don't want to go to the Vietnamese or the Chinese for a sedan. Those are countries that I really don't want to support. Before anybody says anything, oh, you don't like the Japanese, but you like something else that's Japanese. Oh, well, I'm not trying to say that Japanese Korean cars are bad. I mean, they have good quality. They last. They're on roads for about millions of miles. They're great cars. They last. It's kind of a joke, but America, you kind of need to get back in the game a little bit and kind of push us there, because the crossovers aren't doing it. So we live in a world where Ford thought it was great to bring back the Bronco. And how much does the Bronco cost? A lot of money. So if you get a sport one, oh yeah, by the way, actually I think sport SUVs is going to be a different topic, but Detroit, bring back sedans. I don't care what you have to do, but bring back sedans. I mean, I'll just tell you this. I think, actually, I'm going to pick on Buick, because Buick is perfect. It's perfect to pick on because they had one of the best sedan markets of them all. So 10 years ago, or 10, 15, 20 years ago, you had the Regal, you had the Century, you had the LeSabre, the LaCrosse, and the Park Avenue. And then later on, you had the Regal, the Lucerne, the LaCrosse, and whatever else money Daddy. And then eventually they got rid of the Buick LeSabre, which kind of started the whole. And everybody's like, the Buick LaCrosse is the Buick Lucerne, the Buick LaCrosse is gonna take that, and then the Buick Regal is gonna take over what the Century and the other ones did. Yeah, that didn't last very well, did it? Because as soon as the Buick LeSabre got killed, so did the rest of the lineup. And what do we get? We got all these European-y shapes that we really didn't need. So, plus the Lucerne got the North Star, which everybody in General Motors, anybody who's been around General Motors cars, anybody who knows anything about General Motors, anybody who knows about engineering, knows that the North Star in a Buick, it should have had a pushrod engine. But then they're like, it's a Cadillac. It's a Cadillac engine because it's Buick and Cadillac are cousins. They gotta have the smooth buttery engine. For those of you who don't know, the North Star engine, doesn't matter who it was. Early on, the North Star engine was good, but then it turned into a pile of crap. Pile of crap because the engine blocks used to crack. They used to have oil leaks. The seals used to break. It was a mess. It was just not It was just not great. They were like, oh, we could put the 5.7, and then the guys at Cadillac were like, no, we cannot do that. We gotta have a 4.6 that's overly complicated, and we want it to break so that Cadillac fans will have to pay a fortune to fix it. And Cadillac, and everybody was like, okay, yeah, Cadillac, we want to be like BMW, Mercedes, and Rolls-Royce, and Bentley. We want to pay about $1 gazillion to fix the car. We want to replace the engines at $5,000 a piece. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Wow. Buick didn't do too well. The only stroke of genius that I liked Buick for, you listening, Buick, was that you put the LS4 from the Monte Carlo and the Impala in the Lucerne with front-wheel drive, which was great genius, only if it was rear-wheel drive. Car was $30,000. Car could have easily been 45 had they. Car should have been 40 between 38, 39, 45 because it had a V8 and it was rear-wheel drive. That would have been perfect because people will pay $40,000 for a Buick with a V8. So, but they're like, oh no, it's part of the same platform as the Grand Prix, the G8. Wait a second, the G8's rear-wheel drive. The Grand Prix, the Monte Carlo, and everything. We'll just stick it on one chassis and call it a bunch of mud. So there was a bunch of things. I know why General Motors did it, and I know why they did what they did. But I think the greatest sin on earth was when they killed the LeSabre, because when the LeSabre died back in 2007, 2008, so did the sedan market in this country. And everybody who's got a Cadillac, CTSV, CT4, CT5, CT5V, Blackwing, CT6, CT10, whatever they want to call it, those cars are great to look at. And they're great to look at on the racetrack. And they're great to look at from a distance. But they're like a supermodel or a pretty looking girl that's unobtainable. You want to look at it, you want to see it, you want to hear it, you want to hear it sing, you want to hear them talk. But you wouldn't want to date one. Or you wouldn't want to be part of that thing's life. That's what a Cadillac is. So Chevrolet, so General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, or whatever you want to call yourself, or whatever Chrysler Corporation or Stellantis, whatever you want to call yourself today. You might call yourself Mud very, very soon. So Mud very soon because you're heading in that direction. Bring back the four-door sedan. I know you can do it. Please. I'm begging you. So. But yeah, for practical reasons, I can see why they did it. I understand that the SUV and the crossover market and everything else like that, and the hybrid sedan market is kind of creeping up on them. But they could kind of do that. I mean, there was a glimpse of the L. Concept from Buick. It looks great. It looks awesome. And I wish Buick would say Buick would do it. Buick would do this, but they're like, oh, we made to sell it in China. Well, the Chinese love them. We do too. Because the Chinese are very business oriented. We're very business oriented. We kind of like our luxury. They like their luxury. I would love to share with the Chinese because the Chinese got a certain way about them, but. So I forget what the model is, but it looked beautiful. I just wish Buick would build it, and they would bring back the four-door sedan. And I wish it would not be electric, but it may. But and I think they're going to bring back some station wagon called the LT. Buick, if you have your power and you have all this money and you guys want to do this over in China, why don't you just ask them so we can partner up at least. I mean, they're kind of there. We kind of owe them by $1 gazillion. Why not team up? So yeah. I mean, but yeah, it's just distressing how south the sedan market went. But these are just thoughts and prayers and stuff like that. But who knows? Maybe somebody is listening. But if Detroit's got their reasons for not bringing back the sedan, I understand. But if Chrysler is doing it, but if Stellantis / Chrysler Dodge are doing it, Ford and GM, why don't you do the same? So, and you can have 6 cylinders and whatever or not. But I'll leave that to you guys. So, yeah, but that's food for thought. All right, guys. I'm going to do this one to do because I have to go to bed. But I want to leave that thought. It may happen. We may have sedans revived. We may not, but we'll see. But we can only hope and dream, right? Right. All right, everybody. Good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another one.